What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here to review Married to Medicine. This is season 8, episode 10. The episode was titled Ain't No Party Like a Self-Love Party. All right, you guys, let's get into the review, shall we? Actually, before we do that, do me a solid favor, you guys. If you guys are watching this video or any of my other videos and you're not already subscribed to the channel, do me that favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button so you guys are aware of when I drop anything else, and share this video. All right, you guys, well, let's talk about this episode. Wasn't really much to it, so I don't know how long this is gonna be. Yeah, you guys, this episode, I'm serious. This episode seemed very, so far this season feels filler. I just gotta be honest with you. So let's talk about Contessa, since her stuff kind of really tied into the episode more specifically. So Contessa, she is doing a home video diary, and we find out that Contessa, she took a COVID test, and unfortunately she tested positive for COVID. I think Cecil and Simone also tested positive for COVID, or one of them. So at this point, everyone has to quarantine for 14 days. So we see all the ladies, they're quarantining. We at one point see the ladies, they got on a Zoom call with one another. And we'll talk about another Zoom call in a little bit. So then we later see Contessa. So Contessa went over to Quad's crib, and they're talking about, what were they talking about? At first, Quad went to the door. She wanted to, Lysol her ass. And they talk about the dogs, because I guess Quad heard one of her dogs barking. And, she was, Contessa was telling her that one of her kids wants another dog. And, she said, how about we share your dog? Because I guess she said that the nanny stole one of the dogs. I'm like, if the nanny stole the dog, why didn't you call the cops? That's kidnapping. Even Quan said that's kidnapping. Like, girl, you working for me, you take the dog home, and then you call us and say you're not coming back in. You're not coming back in anymore. Lady, where's my dog? Like, I will show up at your doorstep ready to beat your ass behind my dog. Like, the fuck you mean? The fuck you mean? You gonna take my dog as a consolation prize? Nah, ho. It don't work that way. So then Contessa and Quad talk about Dr. Scott. Once again, Contessa's putting a lot out there, and she's alleging that Scott is cheating on her. I don't know if she realizes that that's what she's doing or what, but it ain't the best look. So she's asking Quad how old was Greg when he started stepping out. And he was in his 50s. So y'all trying to say that men in their 50s, I mean, I guess y'all trying to say midlife crisis situation. Okay, I guess. But Contessa feels that Scott still resents her from when she went to school. I can see that. I can definitely see that. And he doesn't want to go to counseling. Why are y'all still going into, I just don't understand why they're going into business with each other. It makes no sense. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, the more I think about it, this episode was just like very much filler. Wasn't much to it. Let's talk about Simone. It wasn't much with Simone. We did see Simone, there's her son Miles, I guess when she and Cecil had to quarantine, they sent Miles to go to a hotel room. Okay. So then we see later in the episode, Simone and Cecil, they were downstairs in the bar, and they're talking. So Cecil is talking about how, well, she's talking about them being empty nesters, and Cecil is talking about how, most people say when you get 18, it's time for you to ship up and ship out. My mom didn't agree. My mom didn't do that. I will say my mom was kind of like Cecil's mom, but much different. She didn't cook for me, and she didn't wash my clothes when I turned 18. After I turned 18, that was all on me. But she did make sure I had gas in my car. She paid my car note and my car insurance until I started working. So yeah, he doesn't, I guess he feels a way about being an empty nester, and I guess Simone is happy about being an empty nester. We also found out that the dog Sam died, so rest in peace to Sam. That is really sad when a dog dies. I remember my first dog died. So sad. I cried. Yeah, it just ain't nothing with this episode. I'm debating if I even want to post this review because it just really is nothing with this episode. I mean, I can't even stretch this episode out, and I don't want it to be super duper short, but damn, they ain't giving me much. I guess I can understand that they had the quarantine for 14 days in the first, but that wasn't even the whole first part of the episode because they fast forwarded it. Okay, you guys, let's move on. All right, you guys, next let's discuss Toya. So Toya went over to Lisa Nicole's crib and, they're talking. So Lisa Nicole asked Toya, what did she do during her quarantine? Toya said she shopped. I'm like, that's not a shocker. I'm going to hold off on my opinions on Toya and we're going to talk about her a little later. So Lisa Nicole tells Toya about this Zoom call that they were all on. Now, it wasn't everybody that was on the Zoom call because Toya wasn't there. I'm trying to remember who all did I see. I know I saw Lisa Nicole. I saw Heavenly. I saw Simone. Actually, I think it might have been everybody with the exception of her. So not Toya, but Quad asked Heavenly what is her issue with Toya, and she said Toya just stupid. Now I do hate when they do that. They try to downplay her, and I'm not gonna say Toya is the brightest person, but she's not the stupidest person either. So I hate when they try to question her, her intelligence. That I do hate. Like I really do hate that part. And then Carrie chimed in and said, "Are you guys just jealous of her?" And Heavenly and Qua were like, what do people have to be jealous of? And Heavenly called Toya the brokest bitch. I'm like, that. Oh God, why y'all counting people's coins? Don't get it. So after they show us that clip, Toya's like, when it comes to her and Quad, like, I thought me and Quad were cool, so I don't understand why Quad is going around talking about me. I don't either. And I'm going to actually speak on that in just a little bit because I don't understand Quad and I don't quite understand Heavenly. Why y'all keep discussing Toya so much. It just feels like y'all doing it for a scene, but we're going to get into that. So Jackie calls both, actually she called for Lisa Nicole, but since Toya's there, Toya put her on speaker, Lisa Nicole put it on speakerphone. So Jackie wants to invite the ladies over there for some down there care. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. My neighbors really should sit down. They get on my damn nerves. Let's move on. All right, you guys, let's talk about Jackie. So Jackie has her down there, event that she has all the ladies there. They all show up with the exception of Toya. Toya is not there. And Jackie did ask Anila, where's Toya? She says, I don't know. I haven't talked to Toya. So Jackie has her friend that, has worked with she and Simone. Now her name is spelled Chinese, but her name is Chinese. Chinese, I believe that's how you pronounce that woman's name. Or better yet, Nisi. Or her other name is Pleasure. And they were like, Pleasure? And so they find out that she does porn. Nothing wrong with that. Actually, I enjoy porn. I've made some porn. That's neither here nor there, but I've dibbled and dabbled. You guys would never find it, and I don't want you guys to find it. So Simone goes and talks to Anila, and she asked Anila about Toya. So Anila tells Simone that she's heard that Toya has been talking about her and basically talking shit about her. So I wonder if it's still dealing with that situation with the makeup artist. Now, if Toya had already talked to Anila about that stuff and then proceeded to go to talking to people in the neighborhood about it, that is low as hell and it's shady as hell. So I think Lisa Nicole may have been seeing that. So it was Lisa Nicole, I believe it was Lisa Nicole, Quad, Contessa, and Heavenly, and they were all sitting at a table together, and they were talking about Toya. And Heavenly said, she doesn't like to talk about somebody that's not, physically there. And Lisa Nicole was like, perfect timing. In walks Toya. So Toya sits down and she's talking to Anila. And, Anila is talking to her about the concerns that she has about, Toya going around talking about her. And Toya was completely dismissive of Anila. I'm like, damn, if your supposed friend is sitting here telling you that, hey, I heard that you said some things about me, I feel some type of way about it, and then even when she tells you one thing that she said about her, she said, I've heard that you call me ditzy, and Toya doubled down on it and said, yes, I think you are ditzy. I'm like, oh my God, you calling somebody ditzy. You calling her ditzy. The same woman that said, did she say child's? But okay, Toya. But nonetheless, like I said, Toya was very dismissive of Anila. So they left Toya and Anila at the table to talk amongst themselves. And the ladies were with Nisi, Chinese. How in the hell mama get Chinese lady that spells Chinese? I just want you to know that spells Chinese, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. So she gives them a scorecard where they score themselves on, I guess, their sex life. So I guess it was a 1 through 10, and they all got different little gifts. Dr. Jackie got the vibrator that looks like a tongue. Simone got a bell that she can ring. Quad got those look like anal beads, but she said they're interchangeable. They could be anal or vaginal beads. Heavily got one of those things that you put in your mouth. Who else was there? I said Jackie. Contessa got one of those one of those dominatrix things where you can blindfold a person and tie him up. Who else was there? Quad. What the Quad? Did I say? No, I said what she got. I said what? Yeah, I think I said what everyone got. Because like I said, Toya and Anila were at the other table where she was just being dismissive. But let's move on. All right, y'all. So we're gonna wrap up with Heavenly. So Heavenly. The first thing with Heavenly, I was okay with. Her and Zachary. They went. Her and Zachary are looking into flipping houses, so I'm cool with that. So Heavenly has Zachary on a budget of $150,000. And I was thinking to myself, what kind of house y'all gonna buy for $150,000? And even if y'all buy one for $150,000, it's probably gonna be a tear down, or it's gonna have a lot of renovations that need to be done to it, which would then probably total at least $500,000 or more. But the house that they're looking at is a little over $400,000. And Heavenly is telling Zach not to be, not to show excitement to the realtor, and he showed a little bit of excitement. He said, wow. And it was very kind of dry. But, Heavenly likes that. Actually, the house was really nice. I was looking at it damn, the house is nice. So Heavenly is at this point, she's thinking that, maybe instead of them buying a house and flipping it, she may buy the house and keep it. And the next house that they do buy, she flips that because it's in a great area. It's on the lake. I would love a house on the lake. I really would. But the guy tells them that they need to move quick on the house because there's another offer on the table. So then the episode wraps up. We see Quad goes over to Heavenly's crib. She's having a little fun banter with Heavenly and her daughter. What's her daughter's name, y'all? what I can't even think of the little girl's name, but they have a cute banter. Now here's what got to me with when it came to Heavenly and with Quad. So they sat down to eat, and the whole conversation that they had was about Toya. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all sitting here having an entire conversation about Toya. Heavenly feels that Toya is all, she's tripping and she's negative, which I will agree with her. Toya has been negative, but why did y'all just make this whole entire scene about Toya? That's all y'all discussed was Toya, Toya, Toya. If I don't care for her, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about her. And then Quad is talking about how she couldn't even get credit at Z Gallery at one point. Quad girl, the way Quad acts, you would think that Quad grew up with like a silver spoon in her mouth. Like you honestly would think that. I just don't understand them talking about Quad. I mean Toya the whole entire time. Now I don't know how long that scene lasted, but just seeing them sit there talking about Quad, it was just like, really? We discussing Quad. I mean not Quad, but Toya. Toya. If I got an issue with Toya, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about her. Period, point blank. Even if Heavenly had mentioned Toya talking about, she copies off of her, I'm like, oh, okay, well, now she said you got bad credit? Nope. Did you beg, borrow, steal to get this house? Nope. Like, I would not have went that far, but that's me. You guys can let me know what you guys thought about that in the comment section below. Subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell button so you guys are aware of when I drop anything else, and share this video. Until the next one, stay safe, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and social distance, and we will get through this together. I'll see you guys for Pose. I don't know if that'll be up tonight or if that'll be up tomorrow. Might be up tomorrow sometime, but I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.